44 and a half past the hour. It's summertime, so we're talking about county fairs. They offer good old-time fun, something that a new generation of Americans is discovering. So you should grab a corn dog as Good Morning America Steve Fox shows us what you'll see these days when the family screams, "Take me to the fair."
It is that time of year again, and the American countryside resounds with the sounds and glitters with the sights of people going to the farm fair. It's a tradition that dates back to England in the 18th century. In its modern incarnation, fairs have many things in common: the agricultural displays and contests, the food, and the rides. Favorite attractions, however, can be uniquely local. Out in Oregon at the Tillamook County Fair, the big crowd pleaser is the annual Pig and Ford race, wherein competitors race across the track, grab a pig from a box, dash to their Ford jalopies and start them up, then tear around the racecourse, holding the protesting porkers in their paws. To many people, these small-scale regional or local fairs represent something of a throwback to our nation's more rural, agrarian past, and perhaps for that very reason, they are, by and large, thriving. It's estimated that 2,000 county fairs are held annually in North America, mostly in the U.S., So maybe you can't keep them down on the farm, but you can keep them coming back to farm fairs, especially if you're willing to change with the times. For example, consider the Ozark Empire Fair, which for years has been the biggest annual event in southwest Missouri. 14-year-old Patrick Davis was there, showing his spotted boars.
Sweet hog of mine, sweet hog of mine.
He and the boars did very well.
15, 16.
The many and varied farm displays and competitions are a remnant from the days when crop growers and livestock breeders would get together to exchange ideas, according to the head of the Western Fair Association.
The agricultural fair, the actual original focus was to improve the breeds of food and fiber. You would bring your bulls to the fair and they would compete against my bulls. A third party would choose the best bull and everybody'd breed to that bull next year.
In the early 1980s, attendance began to decline at the Ozark Empire Fair.
As we have become more urban, our audience here at the fair has become more urban. They don't know that milk comes from a cow, they think it comes from the grocery store. And so we have to try and somehow make that connection between agriculture and the consumer.
This is a sow, and that's mommy pig.
Nowadays, the fair is healthy once again, thanks in part to a number of new exhibits aimed at educating the non-farm public, like this milking display, complete with an entertainer to help city folks figure out what's going on.
I put on the machine and it feels so good just to let down the milk like a good cow should.
Also, massive displays of farm equipment are a thing of the past here. Instead, you've got satellite dishes and Ginsu knives and Egyptian jewelry. And believe it or not, hot tubs and spas are now one of the biggest vendors at fairs.
Everybody goes to the fair, buys a corn dog, rides, goes and sees the swine, and then they buy a hot tub on their way out.
By contrast, the Ulster County Fair in New Paltz, New York, takes pride in having remained a small, old-fashioned county fair, which began more than a century ago.
The more other fairs change, the better we look as far as being an agricultural fair.
There they are.
So it seems the fairs survive because they remind us of who we once were. And while it's true that there may be more stuffed animals than live ones at most fairs today, and more exhibits of photographs than farm implements, the county fair remains a wonderful place to go to observe the rhythms and cycles of life. Fairs
Define communities, and we're a herd animal. We want to be with the group, and fairs are one of the last family, safe, predictable group places and events to go to.
Yeah, it sounds great. Some good American fun. And how about some good American health? Well, coming up
tonight.
Finally this evening from Anaheim, California, a most unconventional convention. A business meeting where people are actually encouraged to monkey around, juggle the numbers, act like clowns. In other words, a perfect place for ABC's Charlie Murphy to put in a hard day's work.
It looks like a county fair, but this is a fair for fair people. What's new on the Midway? New food like catfish on a stick and bagel dogs. And what are the hot new acts?
We're the biggest two-man circus in the United States today.
Okay, it's not Ringling Brothers. Ron Alberti's interested. He's one of hundreds of officials from Western fairs. From the Calgary Stampede to the Alfalfa Festival, trying to find an act that'll fill the fairgrounds. The monkey with the go-kart goes for $250 a day.
It's the only one in the world. He's the only monkey that has his own monkey mobile. This is called a monkey mobile.
Top acts get showcased live. Everything from the Raspini brothers.
Of course, it's much easier. Simply stop using that bowling ball.
To the professor of banjoology. They've got more variety here than a California salad bar. These are atmosphere acts, all looking for a gig. The Living Doll, Mr. Miraculous.
I'm a magician, do a lot of card and coin tricks.
Captain Bird.
You know what pirates do with rope?
We hang things from rope.
They're the new vaudevillians. Their job?
Just bring a smile, put a smile on everyone's face. That's what fairs are about.
Big acts make the big bucks. The little acts, they could end up like Jumbo working for peanuts. A clown can make a living at this?
Well, kinda.
Hey, we got a deal on the monkey mobile.
The small acts, the magicians, the small country bands and stuff. It's a tough life for them.
But somebody's got to do it.
Where do they go after the fairs? Well, they could luck out and make the Carson Show or Vegas, or it's back to the Date Festival in Indio.
Charles Murphy, ABC News, Anaheim.
That's our report on World News Tonight. I'm Diane Sawyer. For all of us at ABC News, have a good evening and a good night.